Today I'm going to be making the perfect traditional Yorkshire Parkin recipe. Frankie sent me this from the United Kingdom. This is a great recipe for me because not only does it give it's the UK version, but it's also the American version. So it tells like 8 ounces of butter and 220 grams of butter. So it's really easy for American or British people that are reading the recipe. But first I want to tell you a little bit, because I'm sure Americans are wondering, what is Yorkshire Parkin? Sticky, moist, tasty, and ever so comforting, a traditional Yorkshire Parkin is the stuff of winter nights and bonfires. Yorkshire Parkin is primarily the Northern English form of gingerbread, but different Parkins are characterized by where they are made. Those from Yorkshire are the most famous, and the ones made there use oats, which makes them different to others. Parkin is traditionally eaten on Bonfire Night, November 5th, celebrating the great failure of Guy Fawkes to blow up the Houses of Parliament in 1605. Guy Fawkes was a Yorkshireman. This Parkin recipe is easy to make and creates a lovely, moist, sticky cake. Though you can eat the cake almost immediately, it gets stickier if you wrap it and store it for several days. The other beauty of the cake is it keeps well in an airtight tin, can be eaten as a cake or warmed as a pudding with a dollop of custard, and an alternative to sponge cake in a trifle, giving it a more autumny flavor than a light summer trifle. Parkin is one of the best cakes for enjoying a taste of Yorkshire. So the one thing that Frankie told me is, she said custard is a must. So custard isn't on the ingredients list, but I have custard, and that's how Kevin and I are going to be trying it. So I'm going to lay this to the side. Just know that I have the bird's custard. I bought this from Amazon, and I will show you several other ingredients that I bought from Amazon as well. You need 8 ounces of butter, which is 2 sticks, soft. You need half a cup of, it said dark brown sugar. This is the only ingredient that I have varied on. We buy light brown sugar. They do have dark brown sugar at the store, but this is what we already had, so I decided to use light brown sugar. That's the only way that I vary from their recipe. You need a 1/4 cup of black treacle, which this is Lyle's black treacle. I ordered it from Amazon. You need 1 cup of golden syrup. I ordered the Lyle's golden syrup, and 1 cup. Look how much is left of that bottle. It's almost all gone. But I ordered that from Amazon as well, although you can find it at places in the United States like Fresh Market. You need a half a cup of oatmeal. You need 1 cup of flour. Then you need 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 4 teaspoons of ground ginger, 2 teaspoons of nutmeg, and 1 teaspoon of mixed spice. Kevin and I just happened to be in the United Kingdom over the summer, so I bought this mixed spice when we were in the United Kingdom. And then you need 2 large eggs beaten. So the first thing you want to do is you want to preheat your oven to 275 degrees Fahrenheit. You want to grease an 8 by 8 inch pan, which I just took some vegetable spray and greased it. And so then in a large pan, you want to melt together your butter, sugar, treacle, golden syrup over a gentle heat. So we have the butter, brown sugar, treacle, and golden syrup. And we're going to melt this over a heat, low heat. And this, I want you to see how thick it is. So we're going to melt this. And while this is starting to melt, I'm going to get together my dry ingredients. I'm going to put them right in this bowl. So you want to put your, you get all your dry ingredients. So everything but the eggs. Let me move some of this stuff out of the way. So you have all your spices and your flour and your oats. And we're gonna just kind of mix these together. So my liquid mixture is completely melted. So what I wanna do is I wanna turn my dry mixture, I'm gonna turn it on low. And you want to start adding this a little at a time to your dry mix. And I'm just going to keep a constant stream going like this, but I have it going really, really slow. But I'm thinking there's less danger of me spilling it all over the counter and down the side of the pan if I just keep going at this low speed. Something that I should have told you is when you, and if you look up this recipe, I will link the recipe below in the description. I will also put the recipe on my blog. If you go to tammydunn.net, I'll have it on my blog. But it will tell you in there, do not let this boil. You just want to melt the liquids together. So it's not supposed to come to a boil. Okay, next thing you want to do is you want to gradually beat in the eggs a few tablespoons at a time. So I'm going to turn my mixer up and I'm going to add this slowly. I want to make sure that there's no dry spots on the bottom. And I don't feel any dry spots. That seems to have gotten it really well. Now the recipe, it's funny because you see, I want you to see how liquidy that is. The recipe actually says, add a tablespoon of milk at a time if the mixture feels dry. You're looking for a soft cake batter. Stir well, it says. So this is not the least bit dry at all. So I'm not going to add any milk at all to my mixture, and the main ingredients didn't call for milk anyway. So you want to pour this into your prepared tin. Actually, because I'm using this flimsy tin, I didn't realize how thick this was going to be. I'm going to put a cookie sheet underneath of it just so that it won't flop everywhere, and that'll give it a solid base. If I had been using any other kind of like a metal baking dish, it would have been fine, but since I'm using this, I'm just going to put it under a cookie sheet. So what you want to do is you want to cook this for an hour and a half until it's firm and a dark golden brown. So I'm going to put this in the oven for an hour and a half. So this is how the parkin looks straight out of the oven. So Kevin is making our custard right now, and then we're going to cut it and try it. So Frankie suggested that we try this hot, and because you can leave it in the tin and wait for it to cool. And I will read you exactly what the recipe says, but it basically says that the flavors develop over a few days. So if you wait a little while, the flavors will get stronger. So you all know the first piece is always the ugly piece. So I'm just gonna That doesn't look too bad, but you can see the inside of it really well. Mm-hmm. So we're waiting on the custard, and as soon as it's ready, we're gonna put some over the top of each piece, and then we'll be back. So I wanna read you the rest of the instructions. It says, Remove the parkin from the oven and leave to cool in the tin. Once cool, store the parkin in an airtight tin for a minimum of 3 days if you can resist eating it. Serve and enjoy. You can even leave it up to a week before eating, and the flavors really develop and the mixture softens even further and become moist and sticky. The parkin will keep up to 2 weeks in an airtight container. It is a lovely stick cake, but also makes a fab pudding with a little vanilla ice cream, or go the whole hog and have custard. So Frankie said definitely have custard.
We have custard.
I asked Frankie, I said, so do I put the custard on it when it's straight out of the oven? Frankie seemed to want us to try it straight out of the oven, and she said, yes, put it on when it's hot because you want the custard to seep in. So what we're gonna do for this video is we're trying it today, but since it says the flavors develop over a few days, we're going to hold this video, and in a few days we're going to try it again and see if we like it even better after a few days. So we're going to try it first with no custard at all.
I could see where that'd be kind of gingerbready like.
Yes.
I like the flavors.
I
like
do
the
too.
texture.
I do too. And it's thick.
It's a little strong, to be honest with you. The spices are strong. But, and it's not sticky right now. But that's saying that the longer you let it set, the stickier it'll get.
I tell you what, I love the flavor.
It's good. Our custard is not quite as thick as probably what we could have made it.
Well,
but
you
it spreads
can,
good.
we use the bird's custard, and the actual directions on there have you adding even more milk than what we added. If you want to make it thicker, you just add less milk. And so we added less milk than what they say, and next time we make it again, we'll probably add even less milk. But I plan to put the lid on this and put it in the refrigerator. So when we try it a few days, we'll have a lot of this left.
For those of you in the UK that make the custard, this is the texture ours is.
Yes. So
is that too thick, too thin?
Yeah, what do you think? We want to know.
Yeah, how does your nan make it? That's what I want.
Yeah.
How does your grandmother make it?
Yeah, we want to make it like Nan makes it. We want to go old school.
See what makes it stickier.
That is so good. I love how thick it is. That is a thick cake.
Yeah, that adds a little bit of moisture to it.
And it might also take the edge off those spices for you.
It's pretty strong.
The spices are very strong. Because when I had to add, I knew it was going to be strong when I read 4 teaspoons of ginger.
Yeah.
4 teaspoons of ginger and 2 teaspoons of nutmeg. And then on top of all that, you had the 1 teaspoon of mixed spice. I knew it was going to be strong.
Yeah. It's a strong spice cake.
But
it
I
really
love
is.
it.
The, I mean, you even get the little burn in the back of your throat from the ginger. It's good. I don't dislike it. I don't love it, but I don't dislike it.
I think this is perfect for a bonfire night. For that one night a year when it's cold outside and you want to have something different. I love this tradition.
Yeah. This would almost be what I would consider you drinking in like a spiced tea of some kind.
Yes, yes. So for you, I can tell. For you,
it's too spicy.
It's too spicy for you.
It is. But I never like gingerbread either, so.
I love this, and some gingerbread is overpowering to me. Some of it, this does tingle the back of my throat, I'll tell you that. But I've had a gingerbread that's actually burned the back of my throat.
Yeah.
So this is leaving a nice, pleasant tingle. I can just see where this would be good. You know, today for us, it's very cold, it's very rainy. So this is something that you want to warm you up. And if you had a cup of coffee or a cup of tea with it, I think it would be delicious. So I do have a lid for that pan, and we're, like I said, we're gonna put the lid on it. We're gonna keep it for a few days. We're gonna come back and we're gonna do this again. And who knows, maybe those spices will get stronger for you.
Settle a little bit.
Or maybe they'll settle and maybe you'll like it more.
Yeah. It's not that I dislike it, but they are very, very strong.
And for me, I really love it. I think it's delicious. So we'll be back. So Kevin and I are going to try this again. As you can see, I have been eating this, a slice of this every day for lunch. I absolutely love it. I think it's delicious. I put it on the plate just like I'm doing here. And I put it in the microwave and I heat it up. And it's wonderful. And then I want to show you, before we go over to the table, this is the custard. It has gotten better and better in the refrigerator. So you see how thick it is? So the longer you put it in the refrigerator, and I didn't know that, but the longer you leave it in the refrigerator, the better it gets. It's like a runnier pudding, pudding. And so when you put it on top of your cake, it just adds a lot of moisture that this needs. So we're gonna heat these up in the microwave and then we'll be back. I have meant to tell you all twice now when we've been filming the website. I should have told you at the very beginning of the website, just said the name of it out loud where Frankie sent me the recipe from. It's www.thespruceeats.com and then search for Traditional Yorkshire Parkin Recipe. I am going to link it below, like I said, and I'll put a link to it on my blog as well, tammydunn.net. So if you go over there, I might have a few additional pictures. I'm not sure what I'm going to have over there yet on the blog, but I wanted to make sure that I said it out loud because I want to give whoever wrote this credit, because this really was, I was very impressed with this recipe because it was so easy to follow. They told everything that you needed to know, and it was all very easy to read and understand. And then they gave the conversions, they gave the British version and the American version.
You'd have to do it on your own.
Yeah, and the cooking times and all that, the oven times, it was just it's a really nice recipe. So if all of their recipes on their channel are like that, then that's saying a lot. So I don't know, because I didn't look it up, in the UK, if you all reheat your custard, once you've had it in the refrigerator, if you reheat it. As I have been eating this every day, like I said, for lunch, I'll eat a piece of this instead of lunch. But I have not reheated the custard. I like it cold because I'm putting it on a piece of hot cake.
It melts anyway.
And it gets melty, so I like that, the cold custard.
I think it's gotten a little softer.
I love it. I absolutely.
The flavor hasn't changed at all.
You don't think the flavor? Okay, so it really isn't for you.
No, it's got way too much spice in there for me.
And I just love it.
That is something I would never want to just go eat.
It's dense and it's very, very filling. So some people are probably looking at that thing and that's all you have for lunch and you don't have anything else. No, because this is a huge piece and this is how big I've been cutting them every day. And that's how much custard I've been using. And honestly, it makes me feel more full than I normally am at lunch. It's like a brick laying there, but you feel very full and it's delicious. I love it. Kevin and I don't always agree, we have very different ideas about dessert. And, Kevin will always go to vanilla ice cream. I like vanilla ice cream, but I'd rather have a brownie, so that's just a difference in us.
I don't like the real strong spices.
Right.
And really anything, honestly, like gingerbread or anything, spice cake. If it's too spicy, I just don't enjoy it.
And see, for me, this isn't that strong.
Oh, it's pretty strong.
I've had much stronger ginger in things that we've had.
I too don't like them either.
So I love this, and I would totally make this again.
Yeah, so it's just an individual taste thing.
Yes.
For me, it's not for me, but Tammy loves it. So.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Frankie, on letting us in on your family's tradition on Bonfire Night. I hope everyone has a great night tonight, and thanks for watching.